So we'll talk about conflict in The Machine Stops. And so Vashti is the protagonist. So you would want to center your identification of the conflicts around her, but we can also talk about, obviously, we're going to talk about Kuno's conflicts too, right? So I'm going to say Vashti Vashti faces an internal conflict when her son requests that she come and visit him, but she is reluctant to leave her room in the machine. So that's our conflict, right? But then Kuno has some conflicts too. So we can say Kuno faces an internal conflict because he longs to explore the Earth's surface. Oh, poor Kuno. That's not going to work out well. All right, so then you have character versus character. Vashti versus Kuno, basically for the same reasons that we said. The relationship between the protagonist and antagonist is strained because Kuno is Kuno. It's definitely has to do with the machine. At one point in this conversation, you are beginning to worship the machine, he said coldly. You think it irreligious of me to have found out a way of my own. It was just what the committee thought when they threatened me with homelessness. Okay, we'll get into that, the homelessness part. But we can say because it's strange because Kuno is critical of the machine, and that definitely Vashti does not like that, right? So when we say character versus society, Kuno is threatened with homelessness. So Vashti doesn't so much have a conflict with society. She's good in the society. She likes everything. She likes the machine. She likes living in the machine. She doesn't even want to leave it. So Kuno is threatened with homelessness, which is a basically a punishment is a execution, which is a execution. It'd be like the death penalty if you're threatened with homelessness. So basically means you're kicked out of the machine. And one of the reasons, so here's really Kuno's conflict. It was a demerit to be muscular. Each infant was examined by birth, and all who promised undue strength were destroyed. Humanitarians may protest, but it would have been no true kindness to let an athlete live. He would never have been happy in that state of life to which the machine had called him. He would have yearned for trees to climb, rivers to bathe in, meadows and hills against which he might measure his body. Man must adapt to his surroundings, must he not? So this is Kuno's conflict. You could say with nature. We could say character versus nature. Kuno was born with an athletic disposition, and he struggles living in the machine. And I'll use that quote here. Well, technically, this isn't about Kuno. Wait, I better explain this. So I'll say Forrester says the following about athletic athletic citizens there. So it's not technically just Kuno. So then you have character versus technology. Oh, this one. It's so sad at the end. All right, wait. We'll So at this point in this class, hopefully you've read the end because I'm gonna spoil it for you if you didn't. So the machine's gonna have some issues. All right, I'll leave it at that for now. So we will say character versus technology, Vashti versus the machine in part 3 when the machine stops. That will be our character versus technology. And for character versus fate or destiny, you could say for Kuno, Kuno has a conflict with his destiny because he does not feel as though he was meant to reside inside the machine. So that would be, he says he's meant for the Earth's surface. And then for supernatural, you would, so that's typically like your ghost, monster, scary stories. We can say Kuno versus the supernatural. If the machine and its components are viewed as supernatural. But for the purpose of the story, the machine is technology, and technology does exist. So the machine was just technology that advanced at a rate that you could really say that we could see this today, right? Like when you look at the Saudi city Niam, where this is going to be somewhat of a machine, where it's going to be an urban building, but to address climate challenges. So it's supposed to look like this, and everyone's going, the people will literally be inside of it. It's Neom or the line. So to say that the machine is supernatural when something like that is literally being built, which is crazy to think, it's going to be like a see-through glass city, and that would be inside. So technically, it wouldn't be supernatural so much because the machine does exist and technology is rapidly getting to that actual being this machine that people can live in that's powered by AI, and it provides everything that people would need so they don't need to go into the charred surface of the earth. But and the other one, wait, is there any other conflicts? We have Vashti's conflict. She doesn't want to leave. And we could also say when the machine starts to stop, it could let her down. Vashti's dilemma with when she should leave the machine. Um, her irritation with her son, that could also be considered a conflict. Vashti is a mother, but finds her son irritating. Definitely a character versus self conflict.